Finally, some score predictions that are going to be more than just about whether we think Ohio State is going to cover the spread or not. This is the most competitive game that they should have played so far this year. 4-0 Ohio State is. I just want to lay down some stuff before we make our picks here. Ohio State is favored by 17. They have played Nebraska 5 times so far since Nebraska joined the Big Ten. The first game they lost in 2011, it's the game everybody remembers, at Nebraska. Ohio State was ahead. Braxton Miller got hurt. Joe Bauserman came in and threw the ball in the stands for a couple quarters. Ohio State lost 34-27. Since then, the next 3 games, Ohio State scored 63, 62, and 56 in the next 3 games in which they beat Nebraska. And then last year it was 36-31 here in a game that was more competitive than people thought. So Ohio State has laid some smackdowns on Nebraska since that first opening win by the Cornhuskers. 4-1 Ohio State is against Nebraska since the Cornhuskers came to the Big Ten. 17-point line. Steven, what do you have?
I'm going to go 30-17, and I think what it's going to come down to is a late turnover. Nebraska's averaging 2.8 turnovers per game. That's 11 turnovers in 4 games. Ohio State's causing 1.8 turnovers per game. They're going to get a turnover at some point, and I think they're going to cause it, along with the fact that Nebraska's probably going to give one up just because that's what they've been doing lately, and I think that's where the game's going to get decided. But I think Nebraska's a more talented team than they've faced anywhere else, so the defense will be a little tougher than what they face. So, yeah, 30-17, Ohio State gets the victory.
So you're taking Nebraska with the points.
Correct.
Nathan.
So I've been spending all week telling people how good Nebraska really is and how this is going to be a bigger test than people might think, and how even, especially Nebraska's defense is probably a little bit better than some of the scores and the stats would tell you. So I'm going to take Ohio State to cover the spread and win 40-21. I think it's going to get a little bit high scoring. I don't know that Nebraska just has the talent to keep up with Ohio State for 4 quarters. Now, Ohio State's going to have to prove it can play for 4 quarters. It hasn't had to do that yet. That could be a factor. I just think that there's too much firepower, and I think I kind of agree with Steven. I think Ohio State's defense can put up points in this game.
We talked about this a lot on Buckeye Talk on our podcast the other night. We've been texting about it. Try us, Project Text. Go to cleveland.com/OSU to read our stories, but also to figure out how you can get a 14-day free trial to get my texts a couple of times a day on the Buckeyes. I had picked Nebraska, like in the preseason, to win this game. I'm not going to pick Nebraska to win this game. I certainly think it's going to be competitive. I don't think it's impossible that Nebraska could win. I'm going to cover all the range of things I'm predicting, so I can be 1% right either way. If Nebraska turns it over the way they've turned it over, Ohio State might win by 50. I mean, I think that's definitely out there too. In terms of how good of a defense Nebraska is, Ohio State's defense by the FEI rating, which is kind of a comprehensive thing from Football Outsiders, Ohio State's defense is 7th in the country right now. Nebraska's is 43rd, which is not terrible. The other defenses Ohio State has faced this year, Cincinnati is 27, Indiana is 67, Florida Atlantic 71, Miami 102. So actually Cincinnati's defense is rated higher than Nebraska's defense, and Cincinnati couldn't stop Ohio State at all. So it was close in the first quarter.
Cincinnati's offense also did nothing, which hurt their defense.
And Nebraska's offense will do something. Will do more than Cincinnati's offense did. I'm going to go 38-28 Ohio State. I think it's competitive. I think it's, not super high scoring, not in the 50s or 60s. I think both teams will put up points. I don't think Ohio State's defense will shut down Adrian Martinez and the skill guys they have. I think it'll be a good football game, and I think it'll be a good win for Ohio State. That's the thing about this. I think we're all on board that Nebraska's a pretty solid team. If we're all wrong, I mean, if you're right, you have Ohio State minus the points. We take Nebraska plus. If we come back next week and you were right because it was 58-2, that will mean Ohio State is like really good, because this would be a legit win.
Quick question: did we all pick Nebraska to win this game in the preseason?
I did not.
Oh.
So no one's picking it now because Ohio State's looked that good. All right, we'll be in Lincoln. Be with us at cleveland.com.